My name's Jade.
And I'm Chase.
And this is the Pierce Family Channel. I got a haircut.
It looks really nice. I like it. I'm surprised how much I liked it.
Today we are on location from the Solomon Episcopal Conference Center, aka one of the main settings for the Hulu miniseries Looking for Alaska, a place that I've been coming since I was Isaac's age. Here's a picture of me being Isaac's age here at the Solomon Center. So, we wanted to come here today. Was it just me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to come here today to talk about our experience on the set of Looking for Alaska. How did it happen, Chase?
How did what happen? Me becoming a star?
Chase is a movie star now. Starting tomorrow, streaming all 8 episodes on Hulu, you will be able to see Chase's name in the credits of episode 3,
6 and 7?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. I will be in a couple seconds of 3 episodes.
The very first thing that happened was I am an adult who still watches YouTube regularly, which means I saw John Green's video the day he posted it. This video.
Greetings from an undisclosed location where they're filming the Looking for Alaska Hulu show.
And as I was watching, he showed a clip of his tripod, which I instantly recognized as one of my childhood homes.
I really enjoyed this biography of Rosalind Franklin, which I would show you, but it's currently part of my very complicated tripod setup. It's not so much a tripod as it is a sculpture, but anyway, there's the biography of Rosalind Franklin.
I knew that it was filming in Louisiana, but I had no idea it was here. And that was very early on into filming. From there, I was able to find out how to become an extra in TV shows, because we have a few friends that work in the movie industry because it's really popular in New Orleans and in Baton Rouge.
Turns out there's a website where you can go and find different castings or looking for extra for different shows and movies in the area.
What I did is I found out about this website, I signed up for it.
And scoured it daily, looking for any part she could play. Anything at all.
I really wanted to be an extra because, one, I knew it was filming here for the most part, and because I've loved John Green and Hank Green ever since I was probably 14 or 15 years old, and I found the Vlog Brothers YouTube channel. Probably found their YouTube channel like 2010 or something, but I'm a fangirl. I've always been a huge fangirl of anything I'm a fan of. I'm dedicated. I was looking for any way to be a part of this.
So one Thursday afternoon, I got home from work, just relaxing. Jade saw a casting for the role of the Eagle double.
The listing said they were looking for a 6'6" Caucasian male with dark hair and a mustache. So I read it to Chase and he's like, hey, that's me.
Technically I meet all those qualifications. I always have the beard, but you take away the beard, you're just left with just the mustache. I'm not sure if you knew. Then there was a little back and forth between Jade and myself. It involved creating an account. It just wasn't, I didn't really care to do that.
Chase didn't want to put in the effort of creating his own account on my casting file.
So I made Jade do it. She made the account. We took one headshot and then a full body shot.
I submitted his photo. There was a note on this listing that said, email this email address with some current photos. I went ahead, I think the subject was Eagle Double, and then I sent 2 pictures of Chase, the headshot and the full body shot. 2 minutes later,
I get a phone call from a random number, so I answer it. Turns out it's the casting director for the agency. He's asking if the photos we had sent were recent. Informed him that we had literally just taken them. I just made this account. He said they look really good. He's going to show them to the director and then get back to me if they're going to give me the Eagle Double part. Spoiler alert, they did. I originally didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I was very busy at work.
while all that was happening, I got a phone call. So they asked me if I was available for these dates that I had selected, and of course I was. It took a little finagling because we had to find a sitter for Isaac for 3 full days.
These extra jobs and even my double listing is for like a full 12 hours.
And they don't tell you which 12 hours.
Even if you're not doing something for the full 12 hours, you'll be there
Getting
just about
paid.
12 hours because you're paid for that amount.
Right, so that could be from 6 to 6 or from 8 to 8, you don't know.
From 9 to 4 a.m. on an extended shoot.
My call time was at 9 that day.
What's your call time?
It was like noon, I think. I cleared my schedule, found Isaac a sitter so I could go for these 3 days.
So after we had set up this account through my email, they just always emailing you anytime there's a casting that kind of maybe relates to you at all.
That's fair.
So I'm getting bombarded with castings all the time. They're not specifically for me, they're just a general notification for everyone who has the application. So throughout, as the days getting closer and closer to the day they needed me, I saw that they are still looking for the Eagle Double, and they've increased the rate. And so much so that they actually called me back again. That's when I texted my boss to see if I could have a vacation day, and then I called our casting director back and let him know that I would be able to actually take the Eagle Double casting for that specific day at least.
I was there for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's all for the beginning of episode 3, essentially, and kind of throughout episode 3. My first day, I drove out to Hammond where it was being filmed that day. We were in a gym, obviously, of a local middle school, which they painted and hung posters and did all this fun stuff to make it look like it was Culver Creek. It was really, really cool. So the very first day I go, I get there, they pick out your clothes. I had to get my tattoo covered every day because any like tattoo showing they covered. I brought my own clothes and they kind of shuffled through and picked out a few things. They had emailed me beforehand to tell me what to bring. So they shuffled through the stuff I brought, picked out some outfits, said, this is what you're wearing today. I went to get my tattoo covered.
We were real nervous the day before as they sent this list of articles of clothing for Jade to bring, because we're looking at it and we're like, you don't know any of this.
Like plain t-shirts, jeans. They wanted me to bring jeans that weren't skinny, and I did not own a single pair.
Because skinny jeans weren't popular back in 2005.
Right. I brought a lot of Chase's shirts to wear just because he had plain t-shirts. I definitely am wearing a couple of your t-shirts in it. For the last 2 days, we were filming one of the larger scenes. So we were kind of shuffling in and out of the bleachers. There's a fight scene in the TV show that didn't happen in the book because there are 8 episodes. They have 8 hours to cover a 200-page book, which is incredible because they can expand on things that just were talked about versus actually seeing them. So it was really cool. We got to kind of watch the different actors. Like, we were in the same room with Kristine Froseth and Charlie Plummer and timothycsimons. Denny Love, I don't know that he's had a big role before, but he's incredible. He is so good as the Colonel. Like, he's not what I pictured at all, but getting to see him act was insane.
Hey, Denny.
If he sees this video.
If he sees the video.
So we got to see all of them acting, and it was so cool, and we were kind of just sitting in the bleachers, kind of waiting around, cheering when they told us to, doing exactly what they did. The third day that I was on set, my dear sweet husband Chase got to join me.
So my first day on set
Was the Thursday I was
was
there.
the Thursday. I actually had to go I went to this building over in Hammond. That's around where they were filming. That's where they told me. They gave me all the information. They gave me where I was going to be going, what I'd be doing for the day. I actually had to go do a fitting the day before. I was provided all my clothes because I'm playing as someone's double, so I have to match exactly what he looks like. The best of their abilities. They're going to match our clothes and everything. And then I drove on over to the set where they had the hair and makeup trailer because they had to shave my beard. They asked me several times if I was okay with shaving. I said, that's fine, doesn't matter to me. They shave my beard, style my mustache, and cut and style my hair to be similar to Timothy's.
Here's a before and after.
I was in hair and makeup, getting my hair cut. Obviously I didn't have my glasses on. One of the actors comes strolling through the hair and makeup. Everyone's talking to them. Everyone knows him very well. He's saying hi to everyone. He walks out. He then comes back in the way he came. He came to me, touched me on the shoulder. He was like, oh, hey. He said hey to me. He's like, hey, man, good to see you. Because he didn't know me. I was new. I was like, thanks. Super nice guy. Super nice guy. Ended up being C.G. Lewis, who plays Hank in the show. I ended up hanging out with him later on. When I was getting my beard trimmed, cut, and my mustache styled, there was another actress in hair and makeup talking to me, saying we were going to be working together today, and it ended up being Lucy Faust, who was playing Miss O'Malley, the French teacher. So,
Who's not in the book, but...
She's not in the book, but evidently her and the Eagle have scenes together at the game. I guess because they're both teachers. Well, the Eagle's technically a principal, huh?
He's the dean of students.
The dean of students. So I got all did up, and then as I was leaving the trailer to supposedly go change into my outfit, that's when the weather got very bad. It was kind of rainy most of the day, but the weather got really bad. They actually had to cancel or postpone shooting because there were lightning strikes. They're not allowed to film or do anything when lightning is in the area. So they herded us all into the catering building where I just hung out with all the actors. All the actors also got herded in there. So I just hung out. I was hanging out with CG. Uriah was there playing Xbox. I was watching Netflix with some of the other actors and actresses and some of the support staff.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the gym. They shuttled all the extras over to the gym, and we're sitting in, there's no air conditioning. We're packed like sardines, and I'm dying. And Chase is just texting me about how much fun he's having.
He's having a great time. Eventually the lighting settles down, and I'm allowed to go to the trailer that they set up for me. An actual trailer, so it was an actual actor's trailer. And on everything's labeled only by character name. The trailer was for the character Hyde. So I go in and I get dressed and all that good stuff. They have all my clothes in there set up. I get dressed and I'm texting Jade. I was like, they had me in an actual actor's trailer. She goes, which one? I'm like, I don't know. All I know is the character's name is Hyde.
And I text him.
Jade informs me that this is Ron Cephas Jones's trailer, which I was not prepared for. Didn't know he was on the show. Didn't know he was part of this.
He wasn't there that day, obviously. That's why they had Chase in his trailer.
At this point, the sky, I guess, opened up, and the ocean that's in space dropped down to Earth. It rained a lot. It was insane. It was a lot of rain. I was in that trailer for maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
It was a long time.
Waiting. Abe and all the other extras were stuck into the gym, and I was in an air-conditioned trailer with a TV. It was pretty nice.
Speaking of Hyde, you know this is the class they use as the classroom?
I did not.
This chapel we're in. This is the chapel at the Solomon Center, which they converted into a classroom, Hyde's classroom specifically, for the show.
Eventually they came and they were getting all the actors, all the final actors, to show them over to the set. Even though it was pouring down rain, it wasn't thunder and lightning, so they could still film. They were filming in the gym. Whenever they came to get me, by that time, the water outside the trailer was about maybe half a foot to a full foot deep.
Rural Louisiana for you.
So they came to get me. It was one of the assistant directors. One of the ADs came to get me with one of their support staff. They gave me a pair of boots to wear because I was wearing dress shoes.
For the scene.
For the scene. But they come and get me. They tell me you need to switch into these boots because there's so much water, and you roll your pants and try to keep your outfit as pristine as possible because that's what you're filming in. You know, my hair's all done up, everything's done, and it's pouring down rain. And this is a great story I love to tell people. The assistant, the other guy, very, very nice guy, he didn't look at me directly. He was just kind of looking in my general area as I was putting the boots on and everything. He goes, "Oh, hey Tim, I didn't know you were going to be here today." The AD turns to him and goes, "That's not Tim." So he looks up, he looks me in the eyes. I'm like, "Hey," and he goes, "Oh, you're not Timothy Simons." And I'm like, "I'm not, no." So they get me. I put my boots on, I roll my pants up, and then the AD and the assistant both have umbrellas and are surrounding me. And then they hand me one. I'm surrounded. There's like all these umbrellas covering my body to keep as much of me dry as possible. They finally get me to the shuttle. I'm in the shuttle with Charlie, who plays Miles. It's very dark. They shuttled us over. I finally get over. There was this big commotion whenever we were parking about how the shuttles aren't supposed to be where we were, and they weren't supposed to be in this area because of the school rules or whatever. So like one shuttle driver was like yelling at the other shuttle driver who was driving us around, but our guy was like, "I have all the actors. They have to get under that awning. Like they have to stay dry." We ended up getting unloaded out. I'm still in those boots that are one size too small. Then we walk into the gym. This is the first time I've seen a set with like the 5 crazy cameras ready to do all kind of different stuff, and like an entire half of the building is just people, but not like actors. These are all just support staff.
Oh yeah.
All kind of stuff. Half of the gym is filled with people to film the scene. The other half was actually full of support staff and audio people, camera people, like all kind of people. There's like they have extra like costumes set up in areas. They have some more extras in the back, like ready for their scenes, for special stuff. It was a lot. The place was packed.
So this is too, like you mentioned that, like how many people work on a movie set is just like, people talk about, oh, how much work the film industry brings to Louisiana, and I never understood it. Like never wrapped my mind around how many people these things employ. I can't wait to see it in the actual television show because it's gonna look so different without all those people in the background. So at this point, I had been on set with Timothy Simons for 2 days. I was looking at this man who looked just like my husband, but without a beard, and he was tall. They have the same mannerisms with their body. Like, it was such a weird experience, like watching this man, but I didn't know anyone else there. I knew no one else, so no one else knew Chase. And so when I'm like, that dude looks like my husband, everyone's like, okay, sure he does, whatever. People are chattering, you know, we've been in there for a long time. We're all getting a little stir crazy. But Chase walks in, and there's this girl I've kind of made friends with, her name's Kimmy. And I had told her Chase was coming, and everybody was just like, in awe that this was not timothycsimons.
So you get a lot of the actors, the other like actors of the show, would walk up to me just to shake my hand and let me know how much I look like Tim.
The only actor that Chase had heard of before was Jordan-Connor, because we watch Riverdale. So Sweet Pea from Riverdale is in Looking for Alaska.
Shake my hand.
Yeah, so that was Chase's one starstruck moment of like,
Whoa,
a famous
I
person.
know this guy.
There was getting to a point when people were like, whenever you were like getting into positions and stuff and you were getting your hair and makeup fixed up, and I hear these people like in front of me talking about how much this double looks like timothycsimons, and I'm just like, yeah, that's my husband. They're like, what? That's crazy. Like, I cannot believe how much he looks like this dude.
Yeah, as soon as I sat down, I had to switch out of my rain boots, which were trouble to get off. I had to put my dress shoes back on, set everything back up, and then I was swarmed by hair and makeup to touch up they touched up my hair, they touched up and actually extra clipped some of my mustache, they trimmed it up a little more. They had like these napkins stuff in my shirt to catch the whiskers.
And next to him they had a picture of Tim so they could match his mustache
a
perfectly.
reference picture. And this is where I formally met Lucy, who was sitting right next to me, who I did most of my work with.
Chase obviously could not have his glasses on for these scenes, so I'm just like, please don't let him fall over.
So every time they had me do anything, right before we started rolling, I had to take my glasses off and all my stuff out of my pockets and like put it off to the side, do everything blind, just about, and then sit back down. There was actually a moment where they wanted to direct me to do something slightly different, and I had my glasses off, and I did not know they were talking to me. I can't see someone looking at me to get my attention, and they also weren't saying my name.
What was that one guy calling you?
I got called
Jace?
Jace.
He got called Jace a few
I
times?
got called Jace. I got called something really off. It was really different.
Like Adam or something?
It was something really different.
And then eventually they were like, Eagle Double.
They said Eagle Double, and I need to be perked up. I'm like, oh yeah, what do you need me to do? I can't see you're looking at me.
Meanwhile, a few rows back, I knew they were trying to talk to him, but had no way of communicating that to him.
Yeah, so eventually, we got through all that. We had to do a couple takes where they wanted me to do things. It was really weird. So they had the director and then his two other guys with them, and the two other guys were there every day. The director actually changed out every episode.
Right, there's a new director every episode.
So the director, Brett, would give me a instruction. I didn't know I was gonna have to like semi-act to like do the same thing Tim did. So I had to do a specific motion, and do like make specific, just kind of general sounds to kind of like map the same proper movements. But they had me at one point slightly bend over when I was doing it, and then in the next take they're like, don't bend over like that. And I actually heard the director or one of the other guys turn and say, we told him to do that. And then they turn back, they're like, oh, and then they're like, well, just don't do that. But eventually on the last take that they liked, evidently from what I hear, it was exactly like how people thought Tim would do it.
So Chase went home, and that was the night that I was there until like 2 a.m.
But that was the same night that evidently the thunder and lightning kicked back up a little bit, which delayed. So Jade had already volunteered to stay for the extra scene, because they asked for volunteers to stay for the extra scene. Jade volunteered to stay for the extra scene, but then the lightning delayed that scene from being filmed for a little bit longer.
So I was there for a long time.
I was well asleep by the time Jade got home.
And that was all of the work I did. I kept applying for stuff, but I knew that it was a long shot for the most part, because a lot of it was for like high school age students and like people who hadn't been on the show before, like a flashback scene. They obviously didn't want people who were in this scene to look exactly the same 20 years ago, or even like in a different location. Like, oh, this is supposed to be somewhere else. Like, they didn't want the same people to be in all these different things.
Right. The only person that they really needed time and time again was me. They were unsure. The casting department was unsure if they ever were going to need me again for the show. They needed me for this first night because Tim was off in
He
New York.
was doing press for Veep.
Eventually, they called me again. They needed me. They said, we need Eagle Double again if you're available. At this point, the casting director knew me by name. I knew him by name. He's like, we need you again if you're available for this day for whatever. They don't really give me any details because it doesn't really matter. They're going to provide me with my outfit and everything I can what to do. It'll be little simple little things. The second day I went ahead and just took a vacation for all these days, and I did. It was actually a lot of fun. So the second day was for the Christmas scene. So I was wearing a suit again.
Here's the picture.
A cute little snowman.
Tie.
It was really a really nice looking suit, and I feel like this outfit looks even better than the last one. Like I look even better in this outfit. Like everything was taken up even fine. I feel like personally the mustache looked better, the hair everything looked really good.
They had to shave his beard again because it was 3 weeks later, so he had a full beard already.
Yeah. The only issue with this day was they were filming at a soundstage. They pretty much recreated the Solomon Center inside of a building as like a faux area. They have like a backdrop that's supposed to be like the woods that they can like throw lights up against. It's to make it look like you're there, but you're not actually there instead of coming out here, because the scenes they were filming were all night scenes, and they were filming night scenes all day, which doesn't work unless you can have complete control over your environment. But I was there just about the full 12 hours, not doing anything.
So I actually got to tag along and see kind of his side of things whenever he went back when I wasn't working.
They treated her way better now that she wasn't an extra.
So I got to go hang out in the hair and makeup trailer with you. They the makeup artists were kind of fighting over who would get to shave his beard because that meant they could stay in the air-conditioned trailer versus going to the soundstage where it was so hot.
The same AD that I've been working with the other day said that they didn't need me at the soundstage and that they would let me know when they were going to shuttle me over, so I didn't have to change into my costume for that day. Stayed in hair and makeup for about 4 or 5 hours.
It was a long time.
Before I even went and changed into my suit to be shuttled out there. But eventually, we did. I went and changed. At this point, they had like a little mini trailer for me. What are they called?
Honey wagon. So they have a honey wagon, instead of just having 1 or 2 trailers, has like 6 or 7.
But they're like half size or even quarter size. They're very, very small because the only purpose of them is for you to change.
But it's air conditioned, it has a plug if you want to hang out in there. Like it's in comparison to what we had as extras, it was super nice.
So I had my own honey wagon portion. It was labeled Eagle Double. I went and changed. We got on the shuttle, and they brought us to the sound stage. It was very cool. We just kind of sat and waited for my part to start. And it was much more involved than the first part. I had to like walk a certain way, do certain things with specific hands. Like you have to use this hand. You have to like act like this. You have to do a turn over this specific shoulder, look out in this area, and exit this specific way. It was a very long thing for me. It wasn't like crazy. I'm a professional.
It was really cool to sit around and watch, one because Chase couldn't see, and because I got to watch Kristine Froseth and Sofia. They were acting, and and it wasn't like one of the big days where there were hundreds and hundreds of people around. There were still a ton of people, but they were all behind the scenes. So I got to sit and watch this recreation of like a place I've been and a book I've read in real life.
I think this is also the day that they realized all the extra like main director, help producers or whatever. It's whenever they realize that I can't see without my glasses at all, as I made it apparently clear, they're like, you need to exit a specific way. And I go, okay, is this camera going to be like right here? Is this stuff going to be here? They're like, why? I'm like, because I cannot see. I will run into it. They're like, oh, you can't see at all without your glasses. I'm like, really? No, I really can't. So they cleared me a path, and then they understood that point.
Well, they didn't have to understand the first day because Lucy was there.
Lucy was there helping me out. So we finished that day. We were there for a very long time, very tired, just sitting around. We ended up finishing up, going home, all that good stuff. They called me a third time for another scene. This one, they needed me there early in the morning. So I went there early in the morning with Jay. Jay came with me.
Again.
Another sitter. We got to have breakfast there. They cleaned up my hair and makeup. I put on another new outfit. It was more or less another little suit. Here's a picture. This time I did it without glasses because that's what I was doing Like,
And also, he was wearing a Brooks Brothers tie with the tag tucked up in it because his tie was $115.
so they're just gonna return it.
Obviously.
But this day we were actually filming on set. I was here at the Solomon Center. They showed us up to the quad, and I went out to do my part here, which was the simplest of them all.
So really, it's gonna be his silhouette in the window. They went through all this hairstyling and shaving his face again.
Just in case.
Just in case. And then you ended up not having to wear the jacket, huh?
I didn't wear the jackets. I did not wear the jackets. He didn't wear the jacket.
We're hanging out in one of the empty quad rooms that they didn't transform. It was just like there for people to hang out in. And we're sitting on the couch in there, and then Denny Love just comes in and starts taking a nap.
So that's where all of the actors are going to be hanging out in between their scenes instead of standing outside in Louisiana heat.
Right. So we were in there just hanging out. It was kind of another hurry up and wait situation. We're just kind of chilling. They took Chase out for maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Absolute opposite of the last time that I was working on set. This day I did it for maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from start to finish. We got finished way sooner than we thought, and then they cut me. I was done. There's some other guys left.
They wrapped him.
They wrapped me. Those are my 3 days. 3 episodes for a couple seconds. My name will be in the credits of 3 episodes.
And definitely, I'm gonna be paying attention to the credits of this show. Like, we know the makeup artists, we know the AD's names, we know, like, we got to interact with all these different people. And so it's gonna be cool to look at the credits and be like, oh, I remember them. Oh, I remember them. This is what they did. Like, oh, that's what their official title is. Would you have done it if I hadn't made you?
I would have known about it. Now I know. And if I didn't have a regular job that pays me plenty of money, I would probably do this a lot. I checked the website, my account the other day for just different listings. I was like, ooh, maybe I can do another one of these, and maybe I'll do an extra thing, or maybe like a little fun thing. But they're always filming in the middle of the week. So obviously someone with like a regular full-time job can't do this regularly.
I think that if another project comes through that I'm really excited about, like I almost did it for Bill and Ted, and I wish I would have.
Bill and Ted movie?
Like if something else comes through that I'm excited about, I'll definitely try. All right, if you guys have any other questions, let us know in the comments down below and we'll do our best to answer them. Maybe we'll do another one of these videos if there are enough. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.